All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into this incredibly powerful personal story, drawn from a collection of writings called A Syllabus of Hope. It's all about a journey, from the absolute depths of despair all the way back to finding faith and a real sense of purpose. And believe it or not, the whole thing kicks off with just one single question.
And here it is. What happens when you reach the edge? I mean, think about that. The whole story, this entire journey, it's all built around this one single, really profound question. It totally sets the stage for a transformation that, well, it has to begin at the lowest possible point. So let's talk about that. A journey from the edge. The whole thing starts right there. But what is the edge? What does that even mean? Because it's definitely not just some physical place, right? No, it's a state of being, something much, much deeper.
Wow, my heart, it turned so cold into stone. I mean, that just captures the feeling so perfectly, doesn't it? This isn't just about being sad. It's way beyond that. It's a total emotional numbness, a complete and utter disconnection. The writer talks about feeling like a walking body without emotions, just empty.
So here's how we can define it. The edge is this place of extreme despair, total isolation, and, well, a spiritual emptiness. It's the ultimate crisis point. But, and you've got to catch this because it's so important, it's also framed as the starting point. It's not the end. It's the necessary darkness you have to go through before you can even begin to see the light.
And when you're at the edge, you can hit rock bottom. And at that lowest point, there's this confrontation with what the writer calls the nothing. Can you imagine? It's described as this moment of just profound spiritual emptiness, like you're looking right into a complete void, and you totally lose your sense of who you even are. This is the absolute lowest point of the entire journey.
Okay, but from that absolute lowest point, something begins to shift. And this right here is the core theme of the whole journey. It's all about resilience. It's this beautiful idea that even when you're in total darkness, a turning point is always, always possible. And here it is, the first glimmer of light. The source material calls it a speck of light, or a spark. And what a perfect word for it. It's this idea that no matter how dark things get, no matter how bleak it seems, there's something essential still inside you, completely untouched by all that despair. Just listen to this quote. Yet somewhere inside of me, there was a spark that knew I was going to get out of here. Now, really think about what that means for a second. This isn't someone else coming to the rescue. It's something coming from inside, an innate knowledge, this little flicker of resilience that just keeps going against all odds. It's that part of you, that part of all of us, that simply refuses to be put out.
So this spark, it's not just some passive feeling, right? It's not just wishing for things to get better. It represents so much more. It's our own innate resilience, that flicker of hope we just talked about. It's the true power of our inner self. And here's the key. It's an active force. It's something you have to consciously protect and nurture and fan into a flame. And once you start cultivating that spark, it catches. It ignites something way bigger. Hope actually transforms from a feeling into an active force, like a current that starts to carry you forward. And the source has this amazing name for it, the River of Hope. Now, if you're going to ride this river, there's one thing you absolutely have to do: surrender. And I know, that word can sound negative, right? But it's so important to understand what it means here. It's not about giving up, not at all. It's about letting go of the need to control everything. It's about trusting in that flow, that greater force, and just allowing hope and faith to guide you toward connection. So the process really starts to become clear, right? You can see the steps. Step 1, hope intervenes. That's the spark, the catalyst that starts it all. Step 2, you surrender to the flow. You let yourself be carried by that river of hope. And step 3, that's when faith takes hold. The source puts it beautifully. The river of hope sweeps me into faith's hands. It's the full journey, from one tiny spark all the way to this profound, solid faith. So, after all of this incredible internal transformation, what's the result? What happens next? Well, it's not just about personal survival anymore. It's about finding a completely new identity, a new purpose for being in the world. And that new identity is about becoming a light bearer. The whole journey leads to this. And it's not just a cool name, right? It's an active role you play. It's taking all that inner change and expressing it outwardly. It's a real commitment to take the light, the hope that you found, and intentionally share it,
to inspire or guide other people. And check out how the idea of hope has completely evolved by this point. It's described as God's invisible sword of light that opens doors to peace and love. I mean, how powerful is that? It's not just a tiny flicker for your own survival anymore. It's now this powerful divine instrument, a tool you can use to actively carve out paths to peace and love, not just for yourself, but for everyone.
Okay, this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it might be the most important part of the whole journey. It's about taking that deeply personal transformation and connecting it to something tangible, something collective. So the big question is, how does inner peace actually fuel real-world action?
Well, here's how. This is where that inner journey directly connects to the outer world. Look at this. The hope you found inside, that blossoms into compassion for others. The faith you discovered, that fuels a real desire for community. That inner resilience that kept you going, that gives birth to a vision for a better future. And that personal peace you finally found, that's what creates the drive for real social change. And this isn't just theory, you know? This hope leads to actual real-world action. It sparks concrete visions, like the idea of repurposing vacant homes to provide stability for the homeless in Sarnia, Ontario. See, it's all grounded in this core belief that to get global harmony, you first have to find inner peace. And it all comes back to that one driving principle, bearing witness to what you've been through to inspire hope in other people. So, this is where we'll leave it. The whole journey we just walked through, it all started with one person's tiny speck of light. But look what happened. It grew and grew, it transformed a life, and then it started radiating outward with real visions for the community. The final question this syllabus of hope leaves us with is, well, it's a big one. If one person's hope can spark all that change, what could our collective hope ignite? Just think about what could happen if we all combined our sparks.